Alright, let's jump right into it. To start off, here are some of the things that you'll need, or at least these are what I've been using. Watercolor paper, because it's thicker and more durable to make stencils with. I have two different books that are different sizes. One is smaller, so the pages are a little more optimal for making standard size patches, and a large book for making either back patches, or you can also use them for making t-shirts. The larger book is 11 by 15 inches with 12 sheets for anyone curious. You can use whatever fabric base you want for the material for your patches. I just wouldn't recommend anything too stretchy since stretchy fabrics are a little harder to work with. I like to recycle some of my old black jeans, and if you're buying a new fabric, I would recommend something like canvas or duck cloth. I just picked this up at Joann's. Here's the cost for anyone curious. And on to making stencils. You don't need stencils, you could also freehand paint your patches. I do that for a lot of mine. But for those who might want to make the same patch more than once, want it to be less time consuming, or just don't consider themselves to be a good painter, a stencil is a great option. To start out, you're going to want to pick out the band or whatever it is you want to make a patch out of and find a template for it. If you're comfortable with drawing, you can come up with a design yourself, or you can also try Googling for the band logo. I'd also highly recommend checking out anarcho-stencilism on DeviantArt. If you search for anarcho-stencilism on Google, the DeviantArt page should be the first thing to pop up. Here you can find a whole bunch of band logos and designs for various genres. If you go into the Gallery tab here, you'll see a whole bunch of sections for different genres and subgenres. I'm currently working on a goth jacket, so we're going to go ahead and look at the goth stencils. I'm going to skip through all my scrolling. Gotta support my friend's band, Vision Video. Also, as an added bonus, this one looks like it'll be really easy. I'm gonna go ahead and save this for now and continue my searching. It might be a little bit different depending on what kind of device you are using. I'm gonna grab a few more options. I went with Paralyzed Age, Vandal Moon, and Horror Vacui. I put them all into a Word document to go ahead and print all on one page. Printing them out might be a little bit different just depending on if you're using a phone or a tablet. If you don't have a home computer or a good place to print them from, I'd also recommend checking out your local library. Most public libraries will have computers that you can use for free, and you can usually print a page for 25 cents each if you're printing in black and white. Alright, now that we have them printed, we'll go ahead and cut them all out. Then I tape those onto the watercolor paper, and onto the next step of actually cutting them into stencils. An X-Acto knife like this is probably going to be your best tool. If you own something like a light board where you can just trace the logos directly onto the watercolor paper, that might be even easier as well. Cutting the actual stencils can be pretty tedious, and I would say is probably the hardest part of the whole process. Just take your time with it and don't get too frustrated. If you have spare cardboard or anything else you can cut against laying around, that might also make the job go by a little bit easier. Once you have your stencils all cut out, you can move on to cutting your fabric. It doesn't hurt to cut your fabric a little bit bigger than the stencil just so you have more room to work with, especially if you worry about fraying or want to fold the edges over. I use the Speedball Screenprinting Ink, paired with foam brushes rather than standard paint brushes. This way it doesn't lay it on too thick, and it's less likely to get under the stencil. Doing thinner layers of the paint or ink will mean less cracking or chipping in the future. After each layer you can either let it dry or heat it up with a blow dryer. I want my patches to be red, so I'm going to use red for my next layer. If you're doing a color other than white, it's still good to do a white base just so your color is vibrant, especially if it's on dark fabric. I'd recommend using screen printing ink if you want your patches to be more durable and more waterproof. You can use regular acrylic paint, and a lot of people do, but it won't be as durable. Now I'm just going to touch up the sides with a detail brush so it looks a little neater. And patch 1 is done. Cutting up some pants for the next patch. This one is going to be Paralyzed Age. Now something you're probably going to have happen is your stencil not coming out exactly how you wanted. If part of your stencil comes apart like this one did, I usually just tape it back together with packing tape. Another option, especially for more detailed band logos, is to just go back in later with a detail brush and fill it in with paint. I'll go ahead and fly through these next few. You'll still be able to see the process, but it's basically the same as the last ones. Okay, here they are, all painted. Next, I'm going to steal this lighter from Mr. Bailey Lugosi. I personally like to light the edges of my patches just to get rid of any fraying. Just make sure you don't set your house on fire. And here are my patches, all completed. And the stencils can be reused in case I ever want to make more patches of any of these bands. Here's the vest I'm going to be putting them on. I was able to thrift it for about $6. So here's it without the patches. And here they are, all sewn on. If you have any questions or any tips of your own, go ahead and throw them in the comment section.